What if I told you that the universe is trying to constantly talk to you, but you've been told to ignore it? You're seeing repeating numbers everywhere, the exact car that you've been trying to manifest, and even that special someone's name randomly popping up in the strangest places. Nobody knows these secret desires of yours, am I right? And yet somehow reality keeps reflecting them back to you. But looking for and overly celebrating these signs when they show up, that's a no-go. Oh, but I've been there before. There was a time when it felt like the universe was speaking to me in a language that I couldn't really fully understand. It was driving me a little bit too crazy trying to decode it all. But here's what I learned from that experience. Constantly chasing signs and trying to convince yourself that every little thing means that it's working might actually be the very thing that's keeping it from working. After all, signs do not precede your desires. They follow after them. This is kind of hard to really fully accept when you hear it for the first time. I feel you on that, but I have the answers for you. You have signs and you have synchronicity. Very similar concepts, but entirely different outcomes. So many people are heavily invested in these little hints from the universe that what they want is just around the corner. Maybe you too as well. But what happens when the signs keep showing up, but the thing that you've been anticipating never does? But don't worry, this is the last video that you'll ever need about these signs. Let's get started on your crash course on why chasing signs keeps you stuck and how synchronicities reveal something much deeper.
I have come across quite a number of cases where it was most astounding to find that two causal chains happened at the same time, but independent upon each other, so that you could say they have nothing to do with each other. Yeah. Just so I speak of a red car, and at that moment a red car comes here, you see. Yes. But this is a miracle that the red car appears. It is not, it is chance, just chance. But these chances happen more often than chance allows. Yes. And that shows that there is something behind it.
Carl Jung once said that synchronicity is the experience of two or more events that are meaningfully related, yet have no causal connection. The Swiss psychotherapist was widely known for his work revolving around synchronicity, the title of this very book. I know you've caught yourself seeing angel numbers before, repeating numbers everywhere, hearing a song that answers a question that you just asked in your head, or bumping into someone with the same name as someone else that's been on your mind a lot. Jung believed that these events were meaningful coincidences, glimpses into a deeper, hidden order to the universe, what many of us have now diminished simply into signs. I've witnessed this more times than I can even remember, even yesterday. But over the years, I've discovered that there is a key difference between signs and synchronicities. This is just a fraction of esoteric knowledge that I give in vivid detail in my self-transformation course. For those who are ready to transform and finally master the laws that shape this reality, then take this as your personal synchronicity. This 6-week master course is calling just for you. Enrollment for this season will be closing soon, but a few slots are still open. If you're serious about leveling up, comment "I'm ready to grow" down below, and I'll personally send you the link to book your free consultation call today. And when I say that this part of the course was born from experience, I really mean it. These same sort of synchronicities started showing up for me several years ago. Before then, I've always been somewhat obsessed with the idea of foreshadowing in my favorite shows and movies. The way great storytellers leave subtle little clues that build towards a surprising plot twist or a climax. So it was only natural for me to buy into the idea that our reality, just like a Hollywood screenplay, drops breadcrumbs along the path that serve as a teaser trailer for what's about to come into our lives. You know what I'm talking about. 1111, 1212, 888, angel numbers popping up any and everywhere. Or how about when you're thinking about someone that you haven't spoken to in months and then they call you? You're ruminating about quitting your job to pursue your passion, and now you're seeing YouTube videos and Instagram memes confirming that you should follow your dreams. These not so random signs are popping up at the most not so random times. Too random to be a coincidence. But before we go any further, allow me to slice through the fog of confusion with the blade of truth. I don't believe in signs. Yeah, I said it. Not a single one, and neither should you. It's simply because there's a nuance between signs and synchronicities. Signs are evidence that you're getting what you want. Synchronicity is evidence that you're discovering who you are. Signs are user generated, and you're the user. It's what we think of or even ask for to confirm that we're getting something. When you ask for a sign, you're really asking reality to guarantee that your desire is coming your way. This is what often leads you to seeing signs for weeks, for months, and sometimes for years without the actual desire that you want ever showing up. It's no different than getting a confirmation email for something that you bought online. It's just to confirm that you put in your order, not how, when, or if it ever arrives. That's an entirely different situation. Oh, but synchronicities, this is where the real action is. They are not just a sign that something's coming. It's a ripple effect showing you what you're transforming into, that you're talking to reality and reality is talking back. That's why synchronicity feels so personal to us, because it is. It doesn't predict the future, not really. It reflects the truth of who you really are. Jungian synchronicity is more like reality breaking the fourth wall to awaken you or even guide you, not towards a specific goal, but towards you realizing that you are not a bystander in reality, that you are the creator of it. I myself was born into this universe on February 22nd, 222, a repeating number, and my first skinny dip into the heated pool of cosmic wisdom was because my lady kept reminding me that it was 11:11 every night before we went to bed. If you want a little bit more evidence than that, I'm happy to supply you with this. Repeating numbers 11:11, 222, 444, 888 aren't just random, but they're not exactly signs either. They're reflections. Reality is built on patterns, and those patterns speak just like you do. Your DNA is encoded with repeating sequences. Computers run on binary code, just zeros and ones repeated over and over again in intentional loops. Nature itself operates in fractals, in symmetry, in cycles. So why would your reality be any different? When you're constantly seeing the same angel numbers over and over again, it's not just coincidence. It's actually a signal that something in your subconscious world is syncing up with the deeper structure of reality. The universe speaks in symbols, in symbolism, and repeating numbers are just part of that language. And if you want to keep people a little bit more powerless, you convince them that these synchronicities don't matter, that nothing is connected, that everything is random. Because synchronicities break the illusion that life is random. And that's why it is so popular to either brush off synchronicities as woo, as coincidence, or redefine them as what we want them to be instead of what they are. But synchronicity shows us that we do have influence over what we attract and what we experience. It shows us that the universe is constantly giving us feedback, that our presence, our thoughts, our choices, they're not just accidents. They're not just random and chaotic. They're intentional and they have a higher purpose. So let's shift gears. In the artwork for this episode, you saw those doves flying in and around my head, right? Good. That's a little nod to the term birds before land, which is a popular term on the interwebs, which hints at these synchronicities that you see as signs from the universe that your manifestation is there. This term was originally created by Florence Scovel Shinn, and it served as a nautical term referring to the birds that you see when land is nearby. More than likely, according to her, it spawned from the journals of Christopher Columbus when he set sail for the Orient. He wrote down in his journal that if he saw a flock of birds in the sky, it was a promise that land was nearby, and he didn't have to wonder too much more about it. Even in the biblical tale of Noah's Ark, Noah sent out a raven and then a dove to determine if the floodwaters had receded enough to let them leave the ark. The raven was released first, and it flew off, and of course, it didn't return, while the dove, after initially being sent, returned later with an olive branch indicating that land was nearby. So when it comes to manifestation, the concept of birds before land, or signs in general, is almost the exact opposite of what manifestation is all about. In fact, the lady who coined the term said herself that the student often mistakes the sign for confirmation. This is why I say this. Manifestation is about having, not waiting. Think of a manifest on a cargo ship or an 18-wheeler. A manifest doesn't list what's on the way. It's a document that lists what's already on board. The same applies to your reality. You're not lining up your mind with what's coming. You're aligning with what's already here energetically. You are manifesting experiences, not signs. I urge you to shift your focus away from overanalyzing and celebrating these signs, because I'm sure you've noticed by now they will continue to pop up as frequently as a low battery warning on your iPhone. Which brings me to yet another question for you. Did you manifest a sign, or were the signs already there and now you're just aware of them? A bit of a paradox, ain't it? Because that's what you've actually experienced. It's the reticular activating system doing what it does best. Let's say that you made up your mind that this is your year and you're going to manifest that dream car. Let's say it's a white Porsche Taycan, the electric one. So say you drop into your visualization, and as soon as you visualize yourself having it that night, the very next day, you begin to see other people driving that same white Porsche no matter where you are around town. You may begin to think that it's a sign from the universe that your own version of this very car is on its way. The RAS is the filter in your brain that decides what information makes it into your awareness. Out of the millions of pieces of information that your brain receives every minute, your RAS filters in what it believes matters most based on what you consistently think about. That's why once you decide that you want that white Porsche, you suddenly start seeing white Porsches everywhere. They were always there, but now your mind is aligned to notice them. This is how manifestation begins, not just with wanting, but with the priming of your nervous system to recognize the path, the people, and the opportunities that match the reality that you've chosen to experience. This is what synchronicity is nudging you to understand and then master. You're not seeing the white Porsches because it suddenly appeared out of thin air. You're seeing it now because your awareness is finely tuned to what was always there. That career success didn't appear out of thin air. You began noticing the doors, the people, the timing, the path long before the results ever showed up. Love doesn't just walk into your life as the movies make us think. You start to recognize the pieces of it that your old beliefs used to filter out. Synchronicities aren't magic tricks. They're your subconscious pulling back the curtain just a little bit, revealing what's always been there, but hidden until you were ready to see it. So let's use that knowledge to your advantage. Now that I've influenced your perspective on what signs actually are, I'll give you one sign that will guarantee that your desires will land right in your lap. Feelings. Yeah, feelings. Your emotions, what you came to this earth with as your factory settings. The only sign that you ever need to look for is how you feel. Your dominant emotional state is the real indicator of where your desires are in proximity to you. We don't manifest just to get the thing. We manifest to feel something. Fulfillment doesn't come from the goal itself. It comes from the emotion that we believe the goal will give us. And you can achieve that emotion before it arrives. So when you start to feel abundant before the money shows up, when you start to feel at peace before your situation change, that's your sign. That's the evidence. Stay in that energy and reality will bend towards you. We've been trained to search outside of ourselves to chase angel numbers or signs in the sky, but the signs have always been within you. Synchronicities are just reflections and gentle nudges from the reality that you're in, reminding you that it's listening all the time and that it's responding. Every thought, every feeling, every choice that you make is sending out a signal, and reality is mirroring that signal right back to you. Signs follow, they do not proceed. You're not waiting for proof, you're creating it. That's our discussion for today. Comment down below and let me know what sign you gave your manifestation so you know it's... Nah, I got you. I'm just messing with you. Let me know how this episode has changed your perception on how your reality is talking right back to you. My 6-week self-transformation course is now open for enrollment, so if you're ready to transform yourself, to transform your life, and finally master the laws that shape this reality, then sign up today. Remember, spots are limited, so comment "I'm ready to grow" down below, and I'll personally send you the link to book your free consultation call today. I am Shaun, and you are neither here nor there. Thank you for joining me.